This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. We also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 22nd of June 2022 and I am Miss K.
I am JM.
And I am GK. In case you missed the headlines, here they are. In the Daily Nation, cash, crypto deals and 4 murders. In the Standard, what awaits next president. In the Star, the faces in DP RUTO's cabinet. And People Daily, tough road awaits IEBC. Mrs. K, will you kick us off?
Definitely. It's 48 days to D-Day, Election Day, and there's still so much for the candidates and IEBC to do. The critical question for both IEBC and the election candidates is this: how do they decide which task to give attention to at any given moment? For instance, should RUTO and Raila spend time campaigning in Gema or in the Mulembe Nation? Or should they pause campaigning altogether and name their cabinet? In our view, the secret to prioritization is understanding the difference between what is urgent and what is important. According to Stephen Covey, urgent matters are those that require immediate attention and have clear consequences for not completing the task, while important matters are those that contribute to long-term goals. Important matters require planning and thoughtful action. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of America, understood the critical difference between the two, and he said the following in a 1954 speech: "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." The same Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, repackaged Eisenhower's insight into a simple prioritization framework, now known as the Eisenhower Matrix. Imagine 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is tasks or activities that are both urgent and important. These should be completed immediately. The second quadrant has tasks that are not urgent but are important. These tasks should be scheduled on your calendar. The third quadrant has tasks which are urgent but unimportant. These tasks should be delegated to someone else. And the fourth quadrant has tasks which are not urgent and not important. These tasks should be deleted, done away with. But in reality, it is difficult for most people to make a distinction between what is urgent and what is not, what is important and what is not. Take Sakaja, for instance. Getting cleared by IEBC to vie in a given post is an urgent and important task that should be completed immediately. However, Sakaja almost failed at this most basic task. He prioritized campaigns and printing billboards over getting cleared to run in the first place. And the DP, he's identifying and naming cabinet secretaries for his post-election government before the election. Yes, this is important, but is it urgent? In chess, there are 3 distinct phases in the game: the opening, the middle game, and the end game. Right now, we're in the final stages of the middle game, just about to get into the end game. In our view, all efforts should be channeled towards winning the election. Anything that does not contribute to that both urgent and immediate goal should either be scheduled for a later date or delegated. And besides, is that proposed RUTO cabinet bankable? I mean, hadn't RUTO promised Kindiki that he would be running mate? Then he changed his mind. What stops him from making promises now and changing his mind later?
Yeah, and changing his mind, we can be assured of. So, endgame. With just 48 days to go, the 9th of August is set to be Liberation Day for the 40 tribes of Kenya. Country will have realized that the Kikuyu and Kalenjin combo does not produce a fair game of chance. Instead, it manufactures ethnic majoritarianism and political divisionism and leaves the rest of the country with a potato swelling in their throats. And that is what the country has felt for the last 60 years. And because Sam and Gema have read the mood of the country, all is not lost for them, because they have agreed to secure their place with a warrior called Martha Karua. But all is also not lost for William Ruto. This is not the end, merely the beginning. If William Ruto thought that the government of national unity was aimed at destroying him, he was right. It was designed to destroy him. But Ruto should read the signs of the time now so that the moment does not destroy him completely. For the first time in his political career, William Ruto is running for president. This will be his first time running for president. Yet in our short history, no one ever gets elected on his first try, his or her first try. Raila has tried for 21 plus years, Kibaki tried for 15 years, and Uhuru failed in his first attempt in 2002. And the question this history begs is simple. Will Ruto get elected president during his first attempt? Now, Ruto must remember that when Elohim the Almighty wants to make a man president, he thrills the man with the idea of becoming president first. And then he ruthlessly skills the man. He bends him without breaking him. He breaks his will without breaking his spirit. If Elohim the Almighty elects a man to become president, he ruthlessly perfects the man. Now, Raila has been through this, and now William Ruto should not resist the ruthless work of God. It will skill him beyond.
Absolutely. Today, I would like to continue on the theme of war and politics. And here I'll discuss the war principles that the main contenders, Raila and Ruto, have deployed over the last couple of months. First, Raila. In tackling Ruto, Raila has mainly relied on the twin principles of overwhelming force and erosion. Overwhelming force is showing and using far greater force than the opponent. In the study of war, overwhelming force is the simplest and oldest approaches, where the opponents of roughly equal ability meet at a big field and fight to the last man standing. This is the Raila method. How has Raila demonstrated this might? By putting together a grand coalition of heavyweights in each region. He has Kalonzo of the combination with 1.5 million votes. He has the Jaba called Martha of the Mountain, who will marshal at least 1/3 of the Gemo vote, that is 1.5 million. But to counter this, Ruto has also deployed another principle, the principle of speed. Ruto is a blitzkrieg kamikaze kind of guy. And in war studies, we are taught that speed conquers might every time. Not only allowing its wielder to avoid the attack of others, but also to get in effective attacks and then get out again before the other person can respond. We are also taught that speed multiplies the damage of an attack. It is, after all, a Newtonian principle, a principle in physics, that force equals mass times acceleration. So speed also makes up for many, many weaknesses. And to be honest, the reason Ruto has gained so much ground over the last 2 years is that he has been propelled by speed. But to counter that, Raila has deployed the principle of erosion. Simply put, this is when you wear down the enemy. How has Raila done this? He has not interrupted William Ruto while he was making mistakes. As you said, GK, this is William Ruto's first attempt at the presidency. You know, Raila has conserved his energy by working smart rather than working hard. He hasn't campaigned as tirelessly as Ruto has, but he has worked that political elite. William Ruto, on the other hand, has expended all his energy, single-handedly building UDA from the bottom up, not with the political elite, but with the masses. And as you know, as we like to say, the masses swing like a pendulum. Today they support one side, tomorrow the other. To follow them, therefore, is to be foolish. You know, so the big miscalculation as well that William Ruto has made is this one of Rigathi. On Rigathi, he scored an own goal, and it has become evident that that is eroding his gains completely. Now, I would be remiss if I did not comment as well on Professor Wajakoya. The distinguished professor is not to be underrated. He is likely to be the Abdu Badida of this election with about 80,000 votes or something of the sort. Wajakoya is deploying with great success the principle of distraction. As we like to say, if you cannot convince them, then confuse them. So like a master magician, Wajakoya is making loud noises on the TV screens with his revolutionary ideas. He's creating small explosions in towns with reggae reloaded and moving stealthily at night through bars preaching his doctrine. Is it working? Yes, it is. He seems to be gaining some half-decent traction. Give it to the man.
I like that. I do. Nobody's stopping his reggae.
Nah.
He could be the third force.
Yeah.
So guys, who do we give our winning headlines? Were you inspired by any of them?
No,
None.
none of the above.
Although
none
I
of
was
the
very intrigued by Tough Road awaiting IBC because they could make or break this election.
That is true. That is the bottleneck that we have for this election, IBC and the Supreme
Bottleneck.
Court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they deserve a headline, People Daily?
No.
There you have it. No winning
Dry.
headline for today. All dry. So we're tossing that.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. Kindly find us on TV. We're on YouTube, but also on Pang Free to Air, Go TV, and Start Times. You can also find us on social media. I'm on Twitter at Samasana.
I'm on TikTok at Maina Wakagema.
And I'm on Twitter at J Kambuni.